I was prepared and ready to bring you guys an epic video today showing off some of the latest PC gaming hardware. It was in this box right here, and I was gonna take it out of the box, show you guys so you could ogle it and drool and stuff like that. And then I got an email that said, sorry, can't do that. So I said, okay, company who I work with, fine. Be that way, I'm gonna unbox my own crap.
Excellent!
So apart from that box that I can't open, I have several things here that have arrived recently that I'm excited about, that we're gonna be making use of soon. So I thought, why not share it with you guys? And this might be a reaction a little bit to the fact that some of the videos I've tried to do recently have taken a lot longer than anticipated, like several weeks or months, like the video I posted just a couple days ago. So doing something that's just a little bit simpler today seemed like a good idea. Our first package comes from Amazon. I ordered it myself with my own money. And there might be a theme for today's packages, and let's see if you guys can figure it out. Inside we have bubbles, and we have this right here. This is a Sony ZV-1 digital camera. This came out, I think, like in 2020. This is not necessarily a new camera, but it is less expensive now than when it first came out. This costs about 750 bucks these days if you're buying it new. And it's a camera that has sort of been through the paces, been used by a lot of different people. There are plenty of reviews on this camera, and it meets a few needs of mine, which is that I needed it to be portable. I needed it to have pretty good image quality. Maybe not in the same caliber range as like a Sony A7S3, whatever that one is. But you might have noticed that I have some batteries right here because I also ordered, you know, the Amazon suggested replacement batteries. Those are generic ones. It also comes with a real one. And I realized a little bit late, I think the batteries I already have for my Sony RX100 will also fit in this. USB charging cable. The heck is in here? Ooh. Oh, it's a cattail. I love these. Joe, you need to get close, Joe.
Yeah, I'm zooming in, Paul.
I know, but it's better to physically move close.
Yeah, I'll be the asshole. You'll be like,
I mean, you'll have to edit around yourself is really what it comes. Anyway, we got a little fuzzball here, a little cattail for the built-in microphone. I did not get the add-on microphone for this because I got another add-on that I'm going to be unboxing in just a moment. So we might as well start using this. Pop in the battery, SD card, fire it up. Oh, my first video. It's getting a great shot of Joe right now. Just look at that lighting. Very dramatic. I was really looking for a point-and-shoot camera because we're going on this trip to Taiwan coming up soon. And one thing I've noticed about my mobile shooting setup, I usually have my Panasonic Lumix GH6, which I carry on a monopod, which has a cage and everything, which is great for going to different booths and stuff like that and getting footage. But I always want a camera that I can just pull out of my pocket and shoot stuff, as well as shooting stuff as we're going around and doing more movement, basically. So I wanted something that was small enough. I was looking at the like A7S3. Those are very expensive, so I decided why not get something that's a little bit more towards pocket size, something that has a pretty proven track record, and something that can pretty easily fit with like maybe a gimbal or something like that. Because I know, since Joe brought a gimbal to CES, that if I don't have a gimbal moving forward for show coverage, he's gonna talk my ear off about not having a gimbal. So what do you think might be in the next box? Let's see, it's a mystery. Box number 2. This I also ordered myself, and I'm going to show you what it is in a minute, but if you want to know why I ordered this one, not the one from DJI, the answer is about $200, about a $200 difference. There it is. This is the Crane M3, the combo actually, the combo package, which comes with a carrying case and stuff like that. This is a gimbal. If you don't know what a gimbal is, it's a thing with 2 rotational axes that sort of self-levels, so you attach a camera to it so you can move it around. There are fancy gimbals that have like shoulder harnesses and stuff like that, and there are more handheld ones which are suitable for more lightweight cameras, again, which is why I went with the lightweight camera over here. And wow, look at this. Like, that's just kind of a hip, cool little backpack in and of itself, I think. Yeah, so this is a Zhiyun, Zhiyun I believe is how it's pronounced. And this is one of the, I think, better reviewed, not DJI Ronin gimbals. The DJI Ronin is a very popular one. That's about 500 plus bucks. This one came in at about $300. And yeah, that's with the carrying case and everything. So let's get that unzippered. Ooh, nice. Look at that. So there's the unit itself. All right, so we've got like a manual and some additional mounts and stuff like that. It's got like add-on pieces, so you can put an extra arm up to like hold like a cell phone next to it, and you can use a cell phone as like a monitor for the camera that you're recording. Several USB connectors here for plugging in and powering. This is a little mini tripod. It starts to stiffen. The joint starts to stiffen like a little bit higher up here, so you can make it. You have a little bit of range of movement, or you can make it a little bit flatter like that. This attaches to the bottom. And there it is. So you got the grip right here. Why don't we go ahead and connect the camera? There you go, powering on. There it is. Ah, all right. So we need to calibrate this thing. Oh, it got mad at me. It might be low on batteries. All right, so we need to do some calibration. What we should probably do is not sit here and like sort of haltingly attempt to figure out how to use this thing while we're shooting an unboxing video. So just wanted to give you guys a first look at this, sort of an idea of some of the new hardware, new equipment that we're going to be bringing to Computex to hopefully get you guys some awesome footage of both the travel and the event and the hardware that's going to be shown off there. I'm very excited about this new camera setup. We can get lots of like cool 360 shots and stuff like that. But obviously, we have a little bit of a learning curve to get past. We're gonna set this aside, and we'll post links to the stuff that I'm unboxing today in the description if you guys are interested in a little bit more like stats and model numbers and all those things. Also cost. Next, we have this box right here, and if you recognize the tape, you might know that it is from Asus, because Asus puts tape that says Asus on the packages that they ship, so you know it's from Asus. What might be in here? Well, is it an AM5 BIOS update? No. It is this. This is an Asus ROG Ally, and this is one of the new handheld gaming PCs, basically portable gaming PC, which is based on the AMD Z1 Extreme SoC, or all-in-one processor, which is processor as well as other not processor. It's got a processor and graphics in it, is what I'm trying to say. This unit is not sealed, so I'm not sure what its previous disposition was, but it at least still has all the packaging on it and stuff like that. So let's pop out first and see what kind of accessories Asus is providing. Oh, look, there's an extra little accessory box here in the top. Oh, it's a stand. Pretty simple, not fancy stand, but a stand nonetheless. Ta-da. Other than that, we have warranty information and printed materials, and a power charger brick thing. Power adapter. USB power adapter. And this one looks remarkably similar to the one that ships with the Steam Deck, and that is obviously the number one comparison that the ROG Ally has been receiving is between it and the Steam Deck. It is more powerful than the Steam Deck. It has a few nice upgrades, like a nicer screen that's actually 1080 instead of 720. Your power brick has an ROG logo on it, which of course makes it better, I suppose. And then the ROG Ally itself is right here, which is, you know, a fairly reasonable size, I will say. This is roughly comparable in size to the Steam Deck. I do not have my Steam Deck here. I do have a Steam Deck, it's at home. I've gotten some use out of it. I've actually played some games on the Steam Deck, which is nice. Now the ROG Ally, I was actually expecting to arrive a week and a half or so ago, and it got here a little bit later than I was expecting. I was originally planning to bring this along on my family trip that we took to Yosemite to distract myself from all the beautiful sights and going around with my wife and daughter by playing games there. Perhaps it is a good thing that it was delayed, but I am planning on taking this along on our trip to Taiwan, and I'm doing a little bit of travel after that as well. So I'm gonna use it, play with it, and then I'll do a follow-up video after I get back. And I will say, if I'm gonna start off with a quibble, my one quibble that I have about this is that they went with white. It looks really nice. I like white stuff, but white stuff that you handle a lot versus like a white motherboard. I have a white Asus laptop, and I haven't been using it that long, and it's already starting to get a little bit not white anymore. So I'm feeling like, since this is where your hands grip most of the time, how long is it gonna take before that starts to get not so pristine? We'll see. We'll see how it looks after a couple weeks of use over the next couple weeks and a fair amount of international travel. Should I turn it on? I don't even know. Oh, there it goes. Of course, we have RGB backlit sticks there, which is really important. Look at it booting right into Windows.
Nice.
That's the other thing. This isn't running off of some crappy Linux bastardization. It is actually running Windows. Oh, it booted me right into a game library setting too. Whose game library is this? Anyway, we're just taking things out of boxes today. We're not doing too much with them, but there is at least my first in-person look at the Asus ROG Ally. This thing does look pretty cool right off the bat. I really like that we have a nicely accessible external micro SD card slot right there, as well as additional connectivity, which I would explain to you, but I don't rightly know what it is off the top of my head. And look, buttons on the back too. Hopefully it's not an X3D chip in it. It also matches very nicely with the bag for the new gimbal over there. All right, 2 more things to unbox. This one is a letter that arrived to my P.O. box. I visited my P.O. box recently, didn't have anything new in there that was sent from fans, but if you guys want to send me stuff, it's P.O. Box 4325, Diamond Bar, California. You can send me stuff, and I usually do a mail time video about every month or so. The past couple times I visited, though, I discovered that I have a Maximum PC subscription, and I showed these in one of the recent videos, and I thanked whoever it is over at Maximum PC who signed me up for a subscription, because I used to be a regular subscriber of Maximum PC, but then I got this letter. Dear blank. No, it's fine. We're writing to let you know about some changes to your Maximum PC subscription. We have made the difficult decision to stop printing a physical copy of Maximum PC. Starting with the May issue number 216, we will continue to deliver our product in a digital-only format. Some more info in the letter about anyone who actually has a running subscription and your options there, but I don't know what to say here. I feel a little sad. I feel like it's somewhat inevitable because printed content like this, I mean, it has its pros and its cons, but lots of people go digital for consuming media these days. So it makes sense for Maximum PC to go all digital, but I just feel like a little bit of sadness here. These are like the last printed issues of Maximum PC that we're gonna see. So rip printed Maximum PC magazines, rip the back of this one too, because it got ripped. I guess it's something that doesn't happen with the digital format. And lastly, I've been saving till last this thing, because it's because Joe's here and he's like drooling. He's chomping at the bit. He is in much anticipation of this thing right here. If you can't tell, this is from our friends over at Gigabyte, their Aorus team. This is the laptop that Joe is going to be using to edit videos while we are on the road. I should confess that I was attempting to source a laptop for Joe that was going to be like a long-term use one. This is a loaner for a couple weeks, so we're still on the hunt for like a long-term laptop for Joe. But I do need to say a huge thank you to my friends over at Gigabyte, because when I realized that among the things that I've forgotten in the past couple months, getting Joe's laptop lined up was one of them. I was like, we need a laptop. Gigabyte, what can you offer? And they're like, well, we've got one that has like a 13700K, I think, or 13700 mobile, whatever I think the 13700 mobile CPU is. And that one had, I think, an RTX 4050 graphics card and a modest amount of storage and stuff like that. Or how about this one? This one has a bit higher end stats. I'm gonna read them off the box. This has the top end Intel mobile processor, I'm pretty sure right now, which is the i9-13950HX, and the graphics card is an RTX 4090. It's the mobile RTX 4090. It is not equivalent to a desktop RTX 4090, but it is still pretty much the fastest and best mobile GPU that you can get right now. So because storage is very important, because CPU horsepower is very important, because GPU horsepower is very important, as well as scads of memory, as much memory as you can possibly have, are all requirements for a mobile editing PC. We're like, yes, Gigabyte, that's the one we want, and this was dropped off very quickly. So as you can see, we've barely even begun to use it. It's still doing initial Windows setup things. It includes, it's large. Let's not split hairs about that. This is a large laptop, 17-inch screen, 240 hertz 17-inch screen, by the way, so Joe could game in his spare time. I know he's gonna have lots of spare time for gaming while we're traveling around and stuff like that. I love all the ventilation that they've put here at the bottom, because we are gonna need lots of cooling. You can see they've used actual copper fins in the cooling solution over here at the side, where we've got some exhaust ports. And you know, despite its size, it still remains fairly svelte in terms of, you know, like obviously the screen size, and it's not terribly thick either. But speaking of thick, look at those USB ports. Oh my gosh. No, those aren't USB ports. Never mind. Edit that out, Joe.
No.
I was looking in the monitor. I was like, they put 6 full-size USB ports on the side of this thing? No, they didn't. There's one USB-C and one Type A USB port on this side. We got a couple more full-size USB Type A ports over here. We've got an HDMI and a mini display port out on the back, as well as a wired Ethernet jack. The hotel that we're gonna stay at, which is right near Taipei 101, they have Wi-Fi, but it's kind of spotty, but they also have wired Ethernet, so we'll be able to plug into that, and that's really helpful. I should say it was kind of spotty in 2018. We haven't been to Computex since in 5 years, so I don't know if it's gonna be the same or not. Did I mention the RGB backlit keyboard? Very helpful for editing in the dark. Joe always edits in the dark. I'm not sure about that, but
I do actually.
so you do, okay. Other stats for this laptop include 32 gigs of DDR5 memory, 16 gigs of VRAM for that mobile RTX 4090 that's in here, and then there's 2 1 terabyte M.2 NVMe SSDs pre-installed, and we're gonna be supplementing that with additional external storage, which I had around here somewhere, but I can't find it right now. I'm currently being instructed to sit back and relax while the magic happens. And that's the instructions that I'm gonna leave you guys with today as well. Sit back and relax while the magic happens. If I haven't been clear about it, I'm going through a little bit of a transition with my channel. I haven't been posting quite as many videos as usual, but I'm doing my best to get myself back into a mental state where I can more easily produce content similar to this one, so you guys can have more videos to watch and I can have a little bit more peace of mind. So thank you for bearing with me through that. Like I said, we have lots of Computex videos that are gonna be coming out towards the end of May and beginning of June. Let me know in the comments down below what sort of content you'd like to see from us. Do you wanna see more travel style stuff of like getting there and the things we do outside of the show? Do you wanna just see dedicated show coverage? Would you like to see a dedicated video on our actual mobile setup when we're actually using it on the road? Because we're probably gonna have 2 supplemental screens to go along this with this laptop for video editing, as well as, you know, a gimbal that we've actually learned how to use, stuff like that. So if you guys have any feedback, any suggestions, anything at all to say to me, to say to Joe, leave those in the comment section down below. In the meantime, I'll post links to this stuff wherever relevant in the description down below, so check that out. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Check out my store at paulshardware.net if you'd like to for some high quality merchandise. Subscribe to my channel, hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed it. We'll see you guys in the next video.